Hello everyone, today I just wanted to quickly present you the new BMW M GPS LapTrigger. Well, I believe that this one can be interesting also for non-French speakers, so that's why I'm doing this one also in English. So here we go, let's go! Just a bit of history for the models before this one, so previous 2019, so 2018 and before, there was also a system, a similar system, which was called BMW HP Race Data Logger or Data Logger, and this one was actually just the data logging. It was purely plug and play on the back, so to be plugged where you plug the alarm system. And then if you wanted to have the lap times on the dashboard, you had to buy another system, which for instance PZ Racing is offering one, or I believe 2D as well, that you plugged in front of the bike, and then you had to put the GPS receiver on the front of the bike, and then you had the lap times on the dashboard. And for the rest, so everything was plug and play basically. For the rest, for all the data logging with GPS as well, but not connected to the dashboard, you had this HP Race Data Logger, which was, yeah, so similar to the new system in terms of data that you can get out of that, and yeah, so full load of data. I will show you that afterwards. Quite interesting when you want to see where you go slower or where you can improve, and so quite interesting for me. Now about the prices, so the previous systems, the one on the back, so the HP Race Data Logger, this one was around 600 euros, and you can buy it from your BMW dealer, sorry. And the front system to have the lap times on your dashboard, this one is about 160, 170 euros, something like that. So now the new systems, so I don't know if you tried or if you looked at recently, but on the new 2021 on the configurator from BMW, you have an option M GPS LapTrigger. This option is 105 euros from so if you buy it from factory, let's say, so from the initial configuration, but this is only an activation code. Okay, so this means that if you want to have the full system, the M GPS LapTrigger, you will need to buy the modules in addition, and that's 804 euros. Okay, I believe that's at least the price that I know. So that means that you have 105 plus 804, and if you, for instance, you bought a 2020 bike and you want now to add that, you can do it, but the activation code will be 110 euros. So that's what I know from as of now. Maybe it will change, but today that's the case. There was some little hiccups here and there, but now it's working. If you have an older bike, you will have to get the bike updated, so all the system of the bike updated to be able to have the M GPS LapTrigger working as it should. So now, how it's presented and what you should do if you get that. So let me around the camera. Okay, so what we have done here for now is, because we don't have the race fairings, let's say, so we just plugged it everything. I will show some pictures of the system. So the data logging or the module from 2D is just down below. But you have basically three things important, and let's say two things to plug and other things which are important. So the alimentation, okay, is there, so that's basically plug and play on one which is on the bike by default. Then you have to plug in the OBD plug, obviously, to get all the data from the bike. Okay, and you have a USB connection here where you have to plug in the stick which is given with the system, which basically will register all the data, and then you will plug that into your laptop or PC and or computer, sorry, and you will get basically all the data from here. You can also plug your computer directly to that, and basically it allows you to communicate with the data logging system, so with the module, and change a few things. Okay, it's a limited software, let's say, or you have limited possibilities, but you have already a lot of things that is useful, let's say. And last but not least, you have also the GPS mouse, which is, well, as it says, getting the GPS signal and getting you all the info needed to get everything you need on the dashboard. Let me turn on the bike, and I will show you what you need to change on the bike to get things working properly. Okay, so basically to get the lap times on the dashboard. Okay, so you need to go to the setting. Okay, so sorry, it's in French here, but you need to go to the setting. You go there on the vehicle settings, then you go to lap timer, and here you will have here on the trigger a choice, which is external or manual. So manual will be to launch the lap times on the flashing light here, okay? And what we want here is external, okay? So if you don't have the upgrade of the bike yet, you might not see the external choice, okay? But that's what you should have to get it working as it should. Once you're done with those settings, you can just go here into sport, and you will go to the second dashboard, and you will see all the laps, delta with the best lap, and you can also have that on the third one with all those lap data here. So that will be triggered with thanks to the settings we've just seen. So here you go. And since the bike is turned on, you see here the little blinking light from the 2D module, and you will also have here a light showing you the status of the GPS, which is okay, obviously when you need to go on the racetrack and check that you actually have a GPS signal. Okay, so now let's go back inside. It's a bit cold here still. So yeah, I will just show you basically what you can get out of the bike with the system, and what you can look at, and why I think it's interesting. So let's go. So here we are back inside. Will be a bit warmer for me, so a bit easier. So yeah, I just wanted to quickly present you that little software from 2D, which is Winrace BMW M Kit, which is a kit, so means a limited version of the full software from 2D. But basically you will have access to everything. So this software, you can actually install it from the little USB stick that you have with the BMW M GPS LapTrigger module. Okay, and then you will have to do two things. So first things first, the software will not have the full license, so you will have actually to install it and then plug it into the bike with the USB connection that I showed before. That will actually activate the license automatically, and then you can just search for updates, any updates, and you will be ready to go. Second thing to do is in modules, you can go to prepare USB stick for usage in a 2D USB stick logger, which is basically, well, like it's saying, prepare the USB stick. Then your logger, your module will recognize that as a 2D stick and will be able to write data on it, and then you can unplug from your data logger and then plug it back into your laptop or computer, and it will create or let's say get from the 2D stick all the information and store them into your laptop or computer. So first thing before plugging the 2D stick after a session or after a race weekend, you will have to create an event to let's say sort the data and not have everything at the same place. And then if you, I don't know, if you've made 3-4 sessions, it will automatically create different sessions into analysis here. Okay, so you will have one event and different sessions. Okay, so now if we want to go into the analysis stuff itself,
So I will just show you one demo data which is already into the software. So you will just click on Analysis, and it will open the analyzer from 2D. Okay, so you see here you have a lot of data, okay, which are shown here. So basically each curve is one canal, okay, so it's one data, okay. Here down below you have the speed, and the splits here are basically from here. This is the starting line, and that's basically all the lap times that you see here, okay. So you have actually your lap times here. You see that this white box, so if I squeeze it or extend it, you see down below here the yellow part of the track is getting smaller or bigger, and that's basically the let's say the zone that you are actually seeing here and analyzing, okay. So now into the data, if you double click in here, you will see actually each line is a log that you have here, that you see that's actually a curve, okay. And you have the pointer. So if you want, for instance, if I want to look at the engine temperature, so you will click here T-mod, okay, in degrees C, and if you move the cursor here, you will actually see the value here changing, and then that's your value. Okay, if I do that with bank DTC, which is basically the lean angle that you take, you see that it's following this now gray line here, and that you have the value here still. So if you stay here, you see that you're at 53, and here minus 55. Okay, so those are not my data. That's again the demo data. So that's from professional rider. And okay, what I wanted to show is things like the things that you can actually analyze. Let me just add one thing, which is the DTC answer. Okay, so it's in percentage. So for instance here, it's cutting, so it's giving 80% of the request. Okay, and actually, if we stay here if we stay on this line that we have here on the screen, the red line, the red curve here, this is the GPS speed of the bike. Okay. You have the speed of the rear wheel and the speed of the front wheel, and you see that at this point, so if I manage to get back to where I want, okay, more or less here, you have the speed of the rear wheel is following more or less the GPS speed, which is logical, I would say, and you have the front wheel which is suddenly losing speed. Okay, so what does it mean? It means that basically you start to wheelie the bike. Okay, so the front wheel will lift in the air, and it will lose its speed. So the bike detects that, and what it's doing. So you see the traction control answer is 80%. Okay, and actually you see, so if we look at here, the orange line, the orange curve, and the blue curve, those are the grip position and the throttle. So the grip position is the opening of the grip, okay, and the throttle is the opening of the valves. Okay, so it's basically you are still asking for 100% more or less at the grip, but the bike is cutting, and you have only 73% of the throttle that is giving to the bike. So yeah, that's basically things that you can look at, how the bike is reacting. So you can, yeah, as I made here, you can add or remove things like that just by double clicking, and you have tons of data and things that I like to look. For instance, me as an amateur, that's the brake pressure, for instance. So again, it's not me, but you see that here the guy is braking at 15 bars on the front brake, and that here it's only 9 bars. So here that must be for a reason, but for me, for instance, there is no reason to brake differently in 2 points of the track. You can actually realize that yeah, I'm braking really hard on that one, and on this other one I apply much less pressure on the brakes, and instead of just using impressions and feelings, for me it's really good to have data that you can actually look at and realize that yeah, okay, indeed this one I'm braking okay, but this one I'm braking like a pussy, basically. So yeah, that's kind of things that I like to look at. And okay, that's just an example. You have here tons of data. So here I just have those ones. So rear and front wheel speeds, the angle, the lean angle, the percentage opening of throttle, of the grip, the engine speed, the engine temperature, the brake pressure, and the GPS speed. Now, if you expand that, you will see that you have tons of data. I mean, there is a lot of things that you can look at, that you can analyze. There is, I think, more of something like 40 channels. Really interesting to have a deep dive in there when you have a struggle or you don't know why you do that, or at least you can analyze what the bike is telling you. For me, really interesting to have those two systems embedded in the bike. So you have the lap times directly on the dashboard, clean, no additional things to put on the bike, and tons of data that you can look at. There is much more, but I don't want to go too much into the details. And anyway, I mean, I'm not a specialist in that, so I'm not looking too much into a lot of details, but at least looking at that, it's already very good, very interesting. For me, that's great things to have and to look at. I hope this little video was good for you, interesting. That's really my goal. So yeah, give it a like, share it. I mean, just type down the comments. I'm usually doing much of my videos in French, but I mean, if you think that's interesting and can be, I mean, I guess I have things that I can share as well in English. I'm an amateur, I'm not a pro driver. I just want to share my passion and maybe tips and tricks here and there. So yeah, just comment, just let me know if that could be of any interest for you guys, and I will try to do my best. So in the meantime, just enjoy, and yeah, never forget, never faster than full throttle. Ciao.